What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Howard, and we are back with a little bit of Raw talk for the week. We're going to recap what happened last week in wrestling and catch you guys up for this tremendous week that we're going to be having leading into the draft and, of course, Battleground that will be happening next weekend. So let's first start off by recapping last week's Raw. We started off with a pretty cool Battle Royal, which was a number one contenders match for the Miz's Intercontinental Championship. We saw a bunch of tag teams involved, like the Lucha Dragons, and I believe the Dudleys had a strong showing. We also saw the Social Outcasts and a lot of singles competitors like Dolph Ziggler, Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin, Alberto Del Rio, and the returning Darren Young. And basically, kind of as you would suspect, the match came down to the final four, which were kind of the bigger stars in the match. That being Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Darren Young, and Apollo Crews. Baron Corbin eliminated Dolph Ziggler, who then got eliminated by and with Apollo Crews kind of at the same time, surprisingly. And that left Darren Young in the ring to pick up the win and become the new number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship, which I kind of suspected, but wasn't quite sure if they were going to go through with pushing him. I don't know if this is going to be a one-off, if he's going to actually win the title and go on to have a good, singles title run, but we're really just going to have to wait and see, and only time will tell. After this, we saw a decent match between Sheamus and Zack Ryder. Of course, Zack Ryder is the number one contender for the United States Championship, but he's been spending most of his days recently just kind of getting beaten up by the bigger guys like Sheamus, and of course the U.S. champ Rusev, who after the match came out and attacked Zack Ryder, which really wasn't a great lead-in to their, Battleground match. So hopefully tonight on Raw we will see a little bit more development for that, if they want to develop it at all. Otherwise, I feel like they're just going to be setting up Rusev for some kind of a feud with someone that I can't predict at this moment in time. But yeah, moving on, we saw a great match between Kevin Owens and Cesaro. Very back and forth. We got to see the Cesaro swing. Cesaro hit a springboard uppercut, which was amazing to watch. But in the end, Kevin Owens did hit the pop-up powerbomb. Or, actually, I believe he has a new finisher that he used. I do not know the name of it, so feel free to look up that match on YouTube or the network and check it out. But it was a great match. Afterwards, we saw Sami Zayn come out and attack Kevin Owens, which is kind of, expected, and we got a little bit of a glimpse into what their match at Battleground will be like, with the two of them just going at it without holding back at all. After that, we got to see the Wyatt family compound, which kind of reminded me of something else we saw during the week. I'm not sure if any of you have seen the Matt and Jeff Hardy feud that's going on, but a little reminiscent of that. We saw the New Day show up, and they got into kind of an all-out brawl with the Wyatts, and it looked like the Wyatts abducted Xavier Woods, or they tried to. I don't remember if they were successful or not. We will find out on Raw, of course, but it was basically just a kind of a lead-in to their feud at Battleground. So it'll be interesting to see where that where that goes. My assumption is that the tag titles are going to somehow be split, because there are going to be two new there are going to be two full brands now, so I figured they would have to have tag titles on both shows. I really don't know if that's going to end up happening or not, but we will have to wait and find out. We also saw a great match between the Club and Enzo and Cass, and of course it ended up being a DQ win when AJ Styles got involved. But John Cena did make a surprise return after I think he had been across the country rehearsing for the ESPYs, and I have to say, it was definitely cool to see him come back after it had been said that he wasn't, that he wasn't around. So I would say that feud is definitely one that is intriguing, but I don't know how they plan on what they plan on doing going forward. I think John Cena and AJ Styles are going to have to fight again one-on-one, and the stipulations will have to be somewhat different if they want to have like a good match with an actual ending. But that's something that we're gonna have to find out. Down the line, I'm assuming they'll probably have a decent match at maybe SummerSlam or so, and that'll be good. We also saw Sasha Banks fight Dana Brooke, and it was pretty much one-sided. Sasha made Dana tap out, and Charlotte just kind of looked upset, as she does. Not much to talk about there. The kind of main event, the end of the night, was that of Vince McMahon returning and explaining the who was going to be the commissioners of which brand after the draft. He announced that Shane McMahon will be the commissioner of SmackDown, and that Steph will be the commissioner of Raw. But we didn't really get to see. We didn't really know many details until he then said they will have to assign general managers to the shows to actually run the day-to-day events. So this was definitely interesting because now we have to see who each of them pick as their respective general managers, and they will kind of be the commissioners of each show, and will be competing for ratings and just kind of overall talent, and I'm excited for it. So that's kind of what happened on Raw. Why don't we move on to NXT and the Cruiserweight Classic. Alright, so on NXT, it was a tremendous night. There wasn't a lot that went on, but we did see the return of Samoa Joe. He came out and talked about how no one really deserved a shot at his title, and that the match between Finn Balor and Nakamura was in effect a number one contenders match, even though he didn't really think that it should be. We saw Rhino come out, surprisingly, and he kind of stared down Samoa Joe, saying he wanted a shot at the title, and kind of made that point known. But Samoa Joe kind of walked it off, got out of the ring, went back up the ramp, and said, "On my time, I'll make the decisions. I'm the champ, and I will defend my title against who and when I want." So, that was kind of a little bit of a letdown, but definitely kind of predictable. And, of course, the main event, the main attraction of the night was that tremendous match between Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. I have to say the entrances were something that I was looking forward to by themselves. The stare downs were great. The match itself was amazing. There really isn't much else I can say. It was simply amazing. Now, with that being said, I wouldn't put it at the match of the year, although Nakamura is definitely a contender for that with his match against AJ Styles at Wrestle Kingdom 10. And there's been a couple other matches that have been tremendous as well, but it was definitely I would say in the top 10 matches of the year. Just the two of them with their styles clashing, and you could tell they had history. They knew how to work each other, and they hit each other hard. In the end, we saw Nakamura hit the Kinshasa from the back and then again from the front, and it was tremendous. I have to say, watching this match was really something that I had been looking forward to, and it definitely did not let down. The two of them put on a great show, and I have to say, looking forward, I can see both of them as future champions, whether that be soon or farther down the line. It's got to be something that they definitely looking toward, and overall. I would say watching this was gave us a great idea of what we're going to be seeing in the future. And that's really the important part. So moving on, we saw the first couple matches of the Cruiserweight Classic. Now, I am super excited about this. Daniel Bryan is on commentary, and he was very clearly super excited about this. Some of these matches, you can talk about the matches themselves being great. The endings to the matches are tremendous. Some of the finishers these guys have are nuts. The first match we saw was Alejandro Saiz versus Grand Metalik, and I have to say, the ending to this match was, it looked like, the guy broke his neck, basically. Grand Metalik got him into a fisherman's carry, and then hit him with a fisherman's driver, which is kind of like a pile driver after being in the fisherman's carry position. I highly recommend you go on the WWE Network and watch these matches. And if you can't, I'm sure you can find it online. Just look up, watch Cruiserweight Classic for free or something like that. I'm sure you'll find something. But tremendous, tremendous match. Grand Metalik is the first to advance to the second round and put on a great showing. The next matchup we saw was Cedric Alexander versus Clement Peugeot, the Frenchman, and I have to say it was a pretty good match. In the end, we saw that Cedric Alexander can take a punch, he can take a kick, he can take anything you throw at him, and he hit his finisher out of nowhere, which was definitely something I hadn't seen before. I don't even know how to describe it, but it seemed to kind of, knock the Frenchman for a loop. So, again, check out these matches. They are tremendous. The next matchup was between Arya Daivari, who, if any of you guys remember Daivari from maybe 2007 or so, being the manager of the Great Khali, and he actually wrestled a little bit himself. Arya Daivari is the brother of the Daivari that we knew from back then, and he put on a very strong showing, has a very similar fighting style, and a very similar gimmick to that his brother showed. He faced off against Ho Ho Lun, the wrestler from China who started up his own kind of wrestling gym and kind of got wrestling to be a little bit more popular over there in China. Great match, back and forth definitely, but in the end Ho Ho Lun came out with the win and advanced to the next round as well. The final matchup of the night was the Samoan Sean Maluta versus one of the favorites and definitely one of the biggest stars in this tournament, Kota Ibushi, who is from Japan. He's most notably wrestled in New Japan Wrestling. He's fought Shinsuke Nakamura for the New Japan Intercontinental Championship. He's held the New Japan Tag titles many times before, and he may have fought for the World title as well. I do not know off the top of my head, but definitely look into some of his previous matches. He's known to be an incredibly strong kicker, and the kicks are just blood-curdling. Honestly, it was a tremendous match, and the Samoan hit Ibushi with a super kick out of nowhere that looked like it could have ended the match, but Kota Ibushi kicked out and made a strong comeback to be the fourth person to advance, and he will actually be facing off against Cedric Alexander in the next round. So I'm going to put a link to, I kind of set up the tournament brackets on challenge.com for you guys if any of you guys want to check that out. And just so you can take a look at what the brackets look like. You can get live updates as to where we are in the tournament at the moment, see who advanced so far, and see who could possibly face who. I've made my predictions on who I think is going to win the tournament, so you can also check that out. And just, I highly recommend checking out these matches if you do have the network. And if you don't, feel free to come here and you can get the recaps every time of the week. We will probably be covering these every Sunday or Monday or so. Okay, so why don't we move on really quick? We'll just look at the upcoming Battleground pay-per-view. I'm going to be doing the next week's Raw Talk will include Battleground, and I think what we'll do is we'll do kind of a precursor to that and give you guys our quick rundown of what's going to be taking place right now. So of course we're going to be seeing Sasha Banks face off against Charlotte and Dana Brooke, but it is going to be a tag match with a unknown partner that has yet to be announced. My guess is that it could and most likely will be the debut of Bayley, which has been a long time coming. I really hope that is the case. If that is not the case, I would assume it has to be Paige, as the other divas are pretty much booked or not active at the moment. The other women's match is between Becky Lynch and Natalya, which is kind of a grudge match, if you will, and that should be good. But I would expect Becky Lynch to win just because she's been getting attacked over and over again. And Natalya kind of is at the point where she needs to put the younger women over. So that's my assumption of that. We're going to see the United States Championship match between Rusev and Zack Ryder. Don't expect Zack Ryder to win this match. And if he does, I wouldn't be surprised if he lost the belt the following night on Raw or SmackDown, wherever he is at that time. The Intercontinental Championship match with The Miz defending against Darren Young is also a match to look at. Again, I don't know if they plan on pushing Darren Young very, very much in the future, but I think we'll have a good idea as to whether they're going to be pushing him or not after this match. We are also going to see the New Day take on the Wyatt family in a 3-on-3 tag match, which should be pretty awesome, and I'm sure you'll see all hell break loose. Another place you'll see all hell break loose is a grudge match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, which could take the show. I would definitely keep an eye on it, and that it could be the match of the night. And we're going to see another 6-man tag match between the Club, John Cena, and Enzo and Cass, which I can only assume John Cena, Enzo, and Cass will win. And then, of course, the main event will be the world title match between Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. So look to see some titles split up, because this will be right after the draft. So we're going to be needing to have some titles to kind of be this symmetry or the opposition on each show. I don't know how they're going to do this, but we might see a little bit of that at Battleground, and definitely the next nights on Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night SmackDown. So this is where we're at. I'm looking forward to the draft on Tuesday, and of course Monday Night Raw before Battleground. But until then, I want to thank you guys for watching. Feel free to leave a like or comment down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And we'll be posting regular content, on this channel for wrestling and for a couple, gaming Let's Plays, as usual. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all real soon.